Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And I've had to take quite a few days off because I've been sick. I am tired and I have a sore throat and I'm not getting the flu and I'm not getting a cold, but I'm not peppy. I'm really tired and I'm not sleeping well. It's all been a nightmare. So anyway, we're back today and I want to talk about something this week that occurred, which was National Therapy Animal Day. And that was on Tuesday. And therapy animals do a lot of great work in the world. And I actually just finished working on an article for somebody about therapy animals. And I really want to talk about some of the questions they brought up, which were pretty unusual, which was, do you have to have shots or does your dog have to have shots to do therapy work? Well, that's a really good question. And it really depends on the setting you're going into and what the laws are in your area. For all the therapy work I've done, my dog has had to have an up-to-date rabies in order to have his therapy dog certificate. And a lot of the places I go to do not let you in without a therapy dog certificate. And around here, and really across a lot of the country, there's a thing called Therapy Dogs International. And they, people affiliated with them provide classes, 6 to 12 classes, where you can bring your dog, train him to be a therapy dog, test to be a therapy dog, and then go with them in groups to various nursing homes or other facilities. So that group will have a specific set of rules that you need to follow. In many nursing homes in the winter, they can't tell like somebody's sister-in-law to come in with a flu shot, but a lot of them require their workers to have flu shots. And so if you are considered, whether you're considered entertainment, in which case you might not need a flu shot, or you're considered adjunct therapy, then you'd need a flu shot. It just depends on your personal preference. I mean, I don't get flu shots, but a lot of people do. And a lot of therapy dog teams are senior dogs and senior people. In that case, because nursing homes have a lot of flu virus, if you are someone concerned about getting the flu, getting yourself a flu shot before you do therapy visits may be a great idea, because you're coming in once a week or twice a month. You don't know who's been sick. You don't know if they're coughing up because they've got congestive heart failure or some kind of lung problem, or if they actually have recently had the flu. And certainly most of the nursing homes I've been in, the people are so busy working there that they don't have time to say to you, well, Bob down the hall, he was pretty sick last week, you might not want to visit him. In fact, quite the opposite. They might say, Bob's been pretty sick, you might want to give him a pick-me-up. And another thing this article asked was, what's the protocol for cleanliness for your dog? Well, when I got my first therapy dog license years ago, or certification, they recommended that you give your dog a bath like a week before you bring him in. But of course, we all know that dogs should only really be getting a bath about once a month. So what I've discovered over the years is I want my dog to have a bath after a visit, because everybody's petting them. You don't know how clean their hands are. You don't know what else they've been touching in the building where it might not be clean. A lot of the elevators in the nursing homes where I've been are not cleaned very well or very often. So I'm a little concerned about having people touch my dog and then me being like this with him or sleeping next to him, or maybe somebody's children doing those kinds of things with the dog when they bring him home. So I like to give my dog a bath after the visits. And then also I found some like organic, no chemical baby wipes. Great to have in the car. And for a lot of years, because my dogs went to work with me 3 or 4 days a week a lot of the time, I would give them the baby handy wipe everywhere where they had been petted after work each day before they got in the car. And that felt good enough for me. I mean, there really is a huge risk in nursing homes of passing on some people thing to your dog, or that person being, almost sick with the flu, but not quite, and then petting your dog, then you kiss your dog 10 minutes later, and now you're getting the flu. So the precautions are not always what novices will tell you. It's not about your dog not spreading germs. Another important thing about nursing homes, the floors, they clean them a lot, but the floors are not really a happy place. Let's put it that way. So no matter I wipe the dog off or not, I always wipe their feet off after they've been in the nursing home, especially if they've been up on numerous different floors. A lot of places, we had one guy at a place who came in. We called him Patient Zero because he had a horrible, almost killing him case of scabies, which is a skin disease where these little like worm things live on your skin, and it's very hard to get rid of, but you can take a pill for it. His family wouldn't let him be given the pill, so they had to try to just keep him clean, and they make your skin fall off at a greater rate, and they can live along the corners of the rooms. And when we had to, the whole building had to be descabied, but they had to go around with high pressure, high steam, very hot, and just steam every surface in every room, and all of the people's clothes and stuff had to be put in bags in, it was winter, in an outdoor area for a couple of weeks to kill them. So, to kill the scabies. So that's a huge risk. That's just one thing. But people with dementia can spit on the floor, urine bags can leak. I mean, the floors, even if they're cleaned daily, are not always that clean. So wipe your dog's feet off if you're going into a nursing home with him when you bring him out. That's really important for your dog if he licks his feet, and really important for you in terms of your home and your own cleanliness. So that's another little tidbit you learn over the years that nobody really prepares you for. I've never talked to a therapy dog group representative who's pointed out some of these things, but after doing this for over 30 years and seeing people get sick and dogs not doing well, there are some precautions. So in terms of that, other animals that you might bring to nursing homes, because it's Therapy Animal Day, include guinea pigs, cats. My mom's brought her miniature horses in, and we've heard lots of stories of that. And the same thing applies to them. And I love those all natural baby wipes because they're safe to use on, any kind of animal. Make sure you do read the ingredients carefully. You can also make your own kind of baby wipes. Just get like a plastic container, put some soapy water in there, and just bring some paper towels with you, like the brawny, substantial ones, and wipe your animal off with something that isn't going to hurt him. Remember, not all dish soaps are good for animals, as much as we see a certain dish soap sponsoring wiping off little ducks with oil on them. That soap is great for that, but it's not really something you want to put on your cat or your guinea pig, especially on a regular basis. So in that case, you want to use something really mild, like organic, all natural dish soap. So that's another thing if you're using other animals in nursing homes. Great people I know have been bringing guinea pigs in, and that has been a great thing for people because they sit in their little basket, they make the cute squeaks, and it feels very personal when you're with a guinea pig. Sometimes the big dogs just feel like they're passing through and everybody gives them a little pet. Another thing about therapy animals that's great is to gear your visit towards the type of facility you're at. Comet had an old lady costume that he had for when I put him in a costume class when Tristan was in a baby carriage and being a little baby. He was a tiny puppy. And putting him in his old lady hat with his purse around his neck, with his little lace glove hanging out. Oh my God, all of the older ladies were like, I used to have a purse like that. Oh, I love his hat. And they didn't even they thought he was a girl. But something simple like that. And then I worked at a veterans hospital for a long time. And one of the Therapy Dog International people, actually, he's past that. He is with a group of golden retrievers that do a lot of therapy work around the country. They fly all over. His dog was there after Sandy Hook. He came with a little bag with a scarf or a hat from every part of the armed services. So he had a little Marine hat for his dog, and he had a little Coast Guard scarf, and he had, the Army and the Navy. He was really great with that, and he knew which guys were in which branch of service. And if he didn't know, he had this little routine the dog did, shaking the guy's hand and then asking him, and then he'd put the hat on, and the guys just lit up. So things like that really enrich your therapy animal visits. And also, you're trained as a team. So it's got to be something that you want to do as much as your dog would like to do it, because you spend a lot of time with people, and you're not really talking that much other than to say, hi, this is, Bozo the dog. Do you want him to visit? And, how old is he? What kind is he? And then the person might say, I had a Cocker Spaniel. And that might be all they say for a long time. And that can be hard for people. And you also have to learn the kinds of things that are appropriate to talk about. The weather. How about the Red Sox, in not my area. Although I'm still far enough west that there's some Yankees fans. So you say, how about the Red Sox? You might get somebody slugging you. So you got to really have a bit of a routine. A lot of people say the same things every time because so many people they visit have Alzheimer's and they don't remember. And it can be really rewarding. A lot of people say, oh, I want to do it 3 times a week when you first start doing it. And it's a lot. It's exhausting for your dog and for you. Even once a week can be a lot. And at the Veterans Hospital, there's a Westie who's used to come there most Fridays for a number of years. And he's finally retiring at age 13 from therapy work. And they threw him a little party and the other therapy dogs were there. It was really fun. So it can be a great thing. And the guy was a veteran and he loved talking with these people. And he was quite a senior himself. So that little Westie was a great thing. Actually, he was the biggest Westie I'd ever seen. He was huge. He was like Scotty body sized. Anyway, so it can be an enormously satisfying thing. Going to read with kids once a week in the library may not be as exhausting as going into a nursing home even twice a month. There's just a lot going on in those places, and it has a big effect on you and your dog over time. But that's not to say that it's not a great thing to do for the right person and the right dog. And a lot of older dogs and older people really enjoy doing that work. And plenty of dogs in wheelchairs or carts also do therapy dog work. This is really good. And a lot of schools now are offering therapy dog sessions, maybe, for a certain period of time on a Thursday afternoon. You and the dog are present in the school. And kids that can benefit from a visit with a dog come down with maybe the therapist or the behavior specialist or an OT or a PT and interact with the dog while you're there in a professional capacity. And so that can also be really fun. I've done some of that work and I like that work. But it's not always easy. If you've got a kid with behavior issues and you've got a small dog like mine, I feel quite a bit of protectiveness for him because I don't know the kid and I don't know what his behaviors will manifest as. But having that professional there with you can be super great. And that's really fun too. So that's some things to think about if you're contemplating doing therapy work. I see Michelle's joined us. She has cats. Cats are great therapy visitors, and lots of cats love to sit on a person's lap in a wheelchair and purr for them. It's very healing to have a cat purring on your lap. Lots of these ladies lived with cats before they came to the nursing home and after their husband died, so visiting with a cat can be really rewarding. You got to have a pretty friendly cat. I like the cat to be trained to be in a harness. That way you've got a handle on them if they get a little squirrely. I've known plenty of cats that just go in with a collar and their person trying to hold them, but stuff can go wrong. Something can drop off the nurse's cart, make a loud noise, and now your cat's running around. You have 3 lap cats. Yeah, well, they would be great in a nursing home if you feel like bringing them. You have to get them used to wearing a harness so that you can control them if there's an issue. But, it's a great thing, and bring them in the cat carrier usually and have it nearby in case you need to give them a timeout. And also, no matter what kind of animal you're bringing, make sure you know when your dog needs a timeout. If he's yawning a lot, if he's trying to hide behind you, if he's sitting on one kid's lap and another kid's pulling at him, make sure that if the dog doesn't want to move, that he doesn't have to, because it's not beneficial to the kid getting therapy if he's had to force the dog onto his lap and the dog is trying to get away. That's not helping anybody. So, and I've seen that with older people. When my mother's brought her mini horses in, she's got the whole range of, oh, we used to have horses on the farm, to, oh my gosh, it's a horse, it's enormous, what's it doing in here? Is it going to poop? Get it away from me. To other people saying, oh my gosh, it's a tiny horse. And then the horse puts her head in the person's lap and just gets snuggles and happy. And so, bringing a mini horse in is wonderful. And some places only let you bring in the mini horses outside. So you'd go out on a sunny day and bring the mini horse And I've done with my horse years ago. I did quite a few like driving in hand demonstrations at nursing homes for people outside on a nice day. I'd probably do like 2 or 3 in one day, go around with my trailer and do my little thing. So, and now if you're in an isolated area and you don't have a therapy dog group, but your dog is a certified therapy dog and you made all that driving to do that, just contact a place. Like maybe you've got a relative in a nursing home, or you know of one near you, or a friend works in one near you, and let them know you have a therapy dog team and that you'd like to come in, and what would they like to schedule. They may put you in through the director of nursing, or they may put you in touch with the director of activities. And sometimes therapy dogs are just in the activities room a certain time of the month or the week, and the people can come to the dog at that point. A lot of places are getting more and more strict about having people and animals just wandering around the building, so they have a set location and the people come to you if they want to see the animal, and that can be great. Sadly, so many nursing homes, the only public place is also where people eat, which creates a lot of legal issues with bringing a dog into that area, because if somebody's having their snack, it can be a problem, especially if you've got a tall dog that would like to table cruise on his way through. So therapy dogs do great work. My dogs have done wonderful work. I think most of you may have seen the video of Comet and the veteran that was drawn beautifully and put to music by simplewag.com. So, I am grateful for the therapy work that my dogs have done over the years and the people that they've helped. But it is a pretty serious thing to take that on. I know my mom would not want to do that anymore. It's too much for her with the rest of her life. So if it's the right choice for you, it can be a great thing, especially like if you were a retired teacher and you're going to bring a therapy dog or a cat or even a guinea pig back to your school, because a lot of teachers don't have pets in the rooms anymore because kids have so many allergies. So a lot of schools have a place where you can, like I said, have a behavior specialist or a therapy person, like an OT, PT, school psychologist, come down with a kid to visit a pet. But some schools, if you're a retired teacher, will let you just bring your pet into a certain location, and different teachers can decide which kids need to come down and interact with that pet. And it can be a great motivator. Kids that don't want to write something or don't want to read a book, when they're reading a book about a cat and they just visited with a cat, maybe they don't have any pets in their life, that can be really wonderful. So therapy animals are wonderful. Make sure you protect your animal in the therapy settings he's in. Tristan's career as a therapy animal was in cancer work. They've shown that dogs can, quote, smell cancer. I think there's more things than smell that they're picking up on. But that's really Tristan's special gift. He likes to be helpful to people struggling with cancer. Right, little boy? Yeah, Danny, I hope I'm better too. And I've got to say, doing these daily or even 3 times a week is just becoming overwhelming for me. So many things in my life have gone by the wayside because I like to do stuff in the morning when I get up, and getting up later has made that hard. And I'm also adding to my educator work starting next week. That will be 3 days a week. So, and I'm not sure how often. Anyway, we will be back here tomorrow, probably closer to 9 than 9:30, because I do have to be downtown for this big parade. But it's also Kentucky Derby Day. We have to have a special conversations with a Corgi because we like to celebrate Derby Day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.